So next topic. We found out that Nintendo has no more games in development for Wii U. Reggie Fils-Aimé came out and said that Breath of the Wild is the last game they have in development for Wii U. So that basically means the Wii U's done.
Yep.
As of March 3rd, as awesome as it is to be like, yeah, Switch is here, that's the official death date of the Wii U. That doesn't mean there won't be some indie games and stuff. There always is. There's always a trickling effect, but the Wii U's done for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
So how are you going to remember the system? And you're going to have a different perspective because you just basically played mine. You never owned it.
Yep.
What's the Wii U mean to you? Looking back on it.
I think the idea was there, but the execution wasn't. I liked where they were going with it, but I think they kind of failed on the execution of it.
So this is something that a lot of people have brought up with the Wii U. Is the Switch kind of feels like what the Wii U should have been. However, for every person that says that, I think they forget what the Wii U was. The Wii U, or at least what it was supposed to be, I'll put it that way. Because the Wii U is not like the Switch. In that, yes, the Switch has a screen, and yes, it's portable, and you can play games off TV. That's great, but you kind of misses what the primary purpose of the Switch was. It was supposed to be for two-screen gaming on your couch with your TV. It's supposed to be a DS with a TV.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I look back on the Wii U, it worked for me at the time because I love the off-TV stuff. It sucked. It had a low range, and yeah, Switch fixes all that. But the Wii U did things that we're probably never going to see in gaming again, outside of whatever 3DS games will have to come out. At launch, there was a game called Zombie U by Ubisoft, and in that game, you would have to try to hack into it's a zombie horror game, and you're doing everything, you're using gyro controls, whatever controllers have gyro controls. You don't need the Wii U pad for that. But there's a point in that game where you're trying to get through a door and you're trying to hack it. So you're actually doing the hacking on your gamepad, like you're actually looking at the thing on the door doing it, and you have to kind of glance up at the screen like you would in real life when you're hacking, to make sure the zombie's not about to get you from behind.
Yeah.
And it created a suspense that made sense. It was something you can't get with the other platforms. Yes, they ported Zombie U, and guess what? It wasn't as good when they ported it to the other platforms because you lost that extra suspense of having to look away from the screen.
Yeah.
Overlay stuff is not the same because you're still looking at the same spot, so it's easier to spot. You're not, when you're hacking something in real life, your eyes are not all around you looking at stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So it just felt really realistic. There was things in Nintendo Land like Chase Me. We never played that together. I played it once. It was all about asynchronous gaming. So you could have 4 players of Wiimotes running around, and then they are trying to find or capture the one guy with the gamepad. They can't see where that guy at the gamepad is going, but he can obviously see what they're all doing.
Yep.
So it was a really cool concept where you kind of had one person doing one thing, 4 people trying to do something else, and those 4 people don't know what that one person is doing. And an interesting concept that they never did with this, which I thought was set up, was they never did a dungeon master concept, where the dungeon master has the gamepad, everyone else is playing the game, the dungeon master controls everything.
Yeah.
And that's something that, but it's that's kind of the direction Wii U could have went.
Yeah.
And so to me, the Wii U is a console with great software that provided me things I'll probably never get again, such as even the inventory management systems, where you can manage all your inventory on the screen instead of out on your TV. That was all nice stuff that we're probably never going to get again. But to me, the Wii U is kind of I'm going to remember it as a console with great games that never fulfilled its promise. Because a game such as being a dungeon master and all this stuff, that's the kind of promise I got when they very first announced 2-screen gaming with the Wii U. I'm like, this is awesome. Asynchronous gaming sounds like a crazy concept, but look at all these cool ideas you could do with it that I'm coming up with that Nintendo and other developers never even bothered with. As I said, Zombie U is probably the closest one that actually got to using an original idea with the Wii U gamepad. So to me, the Wii U is the Wii U is a dream. It's a dead dream now.
Yep.
But it's a dream that will probably never be realized again. I don't think any other company, even Nintendo, is going to attempt to do this kind of thing again. And that asynchronous gaming is probably done now.
Yeah.
And it sucks saying that because we never really got to see the full potential. But I'll also always remember the Wii U no matter what, for all time because of Splatoon. Same
Yep.
reason that I'll always remember the GameCube, because that's when Pikmin came out. It's when Luigi's Mansion started. The original games that were created during that time, what was I going to say? The Wonderful 101. We'll probably never see that game again, but again, that was a Wii U exclusive. I got my value I felt out of the purchase of the console in terms of the games I played. It feels like a system that the system itself didn't underwhelm me. How it was used underwhelmed me. So I'm always going to remember it as the system that had a ton of potential that was never realized.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people say, oh, you can remember it like the Dreamcast. No, Dreamcast is different. Dreamcast had a lot of potential and it realized that potential.
It was just a little
If
bit
you
ahead
look
of
at the
its time.
Dreamcast first year of games, it is phenomenal. They
Yeah.
were hitting that thing hard, and all those games were fantastic, and like everything just worked. It's just Sega screwed up so much before the Dreamcast; it was too late.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Definitely.
That Dreamcast could have sold 100 million units in that first year, and I'm still convinced Sega would have had to dip out of the console race because they were that dire of straits at the time. Like I don't even know how they even got that thing to market, to be honest.
Yeah.
After all the failed hardware they had been launching and researching over the
Mm-hmm.
last 8 years of that company. There you have it. I guess that's all we'll remember the Wii U. I obviously have more to say on that than he did because I had a lot more experience with it.
I never owned it. Never.
Hey, Mario Kart
I
was
played
great.
a little bit. Oh yeah, Mario Kart was fantastic.
I said it has great games, just never reached its potential.
Yeah.